Good evening. I'm Debbie Walsh. I'm a little shorter than the rest of our speakers, so I get a box. I am the director of the Center for American Women in Politics at the Eagleton Institute of Politics here at Rutgers University, and it is my privilege to welcome you to a night that honors not one, but two pioneering Black women leaders in New Jersey politics. Two giants who have made lasting contributions to our state and the nation. The first is the late Senator Wynona Lipman. Since 2000, thanks to the generous support of the New Jersey legislature, the Center for American Women in Politics has been home to the Senator Wynona Lipman Chair in Women's Political Leadership. The chair honors the memory of the first Black woman to serve in the state Senate, representing Essex County for 27 years in the legislature. And for most of her years in the Senate, she was the only woman and the only Black woman there, always speaking up for those with the least access to the political process, always alert to the political implications of both race and gender. This year, we are thrilled to have Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman, an equally significant trailblazer, serve as the Senator Wynona Lipman Chair in Women's Political Leadership. The Congresswoman has devoted her life to public service and has often been a first herself. She served 8 terms in the New Jersey Assembly and was the first Black woman to serve as the Assembly Majority Leader. She was the first Black woman to chair the New Jersey Democratic State Committee, and when she was elected in 2014 to the United States House from the 12th District, she became the first Black woman to represent New Jersey in Congress. Like Senator Lipman, her firsts are far from symbolic alone. Congresswoman Watson Coleman has used her voice wherever she serves to speak for those whose issues are often ignored, whether it's criminal justice reform, immigration policy, maternal health care, passage of the Crown Act, or establishing the Congressional Caucus on Black women and girls. We are all grateful for her leadership and her political courage. When I heard Congresswoman Watson Coleman was retiring, I knew we had to mark the moment and celebrate her extraordinary career. The first person I called with this idea was Marilyn Davis, who has known the Congresswoman for nearly 3 decades and is a trusted member of her political family. And as I have learned in the course of putting this event together, if you are part of her political family, you are part of her family. Marilyn instantly became a partner in tonight's event and pulled together an extraordinary honorary host committee of the Congresswoman's friends and family who made sure this room was filled with the people that are so important to Bonnie Watson Coleman. Many thanks to the members of that committee. Once we conceived of tonight as a conversation, I thought who better than Donna Brazile, our longtime friend, brilliant political strategist, and a previous holder of the Lipman Chair herself, to lead that conversation. And happily, Donna didn't hesitate. She said yes right away. So thank you so much, Donna. The CAWP staff, and in particular Emily Dalton, Kai Barrios, and Jean Sinsdak, have made this evening happen. I also want to thank Mark Sharp, the managing director of the New Brunswick Performing Arts Center, who opened the doors of this beautiful theater to us, and thanks to his entire staff for all their help and support. And Marilyn, I am so grateful for everything you did to make tonight come together, so I'm going to ask you to join me on stage to say a few words about your friend, Bonnie Watson Coleman.
Good evening. I cannot see a soul.
You can see Bonnie. Look over to the left.
To the left, I can see Bonnie. Wonderful. Well, I shared with Bonnie that I don't have a filter, so y'all please pray for me. If you remember Run, Bonnie, Run, please join me. And I say run, you say run, Bonnie, run. Run! Run! I will say that moment will stay with me for the rest of my life. And as Missy Bell-Meir may recall, in 2014, Congressman Rush Holt announced his retirement. And in 2013, I had worked on the congressman's campaign for US Senate. So I was part of a privileged group. I believe Jamie Gilmartin is still in the audience. Jamie included, who learned firsthand before it became public that the congressman was going to retire. And people started thinking of strategizing and identifying people to run for his seat. And as I was sitting there, like the spook who sat by the door, I said, wait a minute, but this person hasn't done this and that and this and that. And I said, wait, Bonnie, this is Bonnie's seat. This is Bonnie's seat, and Bonnie needs to run for this. So I know Ms. Janine LaRue is here in the room, and Regina Thomas is here too, my trusted comrades who we get in trouble together. So I went to Regina and she said, let's do it. I went to Janine and she said, let's do it. I then called Reverend Coleman. Reverend Coleman said, well, it is Bonnie's decision. What? So then I go call her brother Bill. I said, Bill, Bonnie has to do this. She has to do this. He says, it's Bonnie's decision. And I said, oh my God. Let me go talk to Jay. Jay and I are really cool. I'm gonna call Jay. I called Jay and he says, it's Bonnie's decision. And I said, WTF. So, Maryland being Maryland, this is one of those things where you say, well, I said anyway, I'm gonna ask for forgiveness and not for permission. So I get on the keyboard, go on Facebook, and I start run, Bonnie, run. And Janine can recall, it took off like wildfire. And I'm like, oh my God, we're onto something. But she still had not said yes. She was still being deferential. And she said, no, not me, it should be someone else. And I said, no, Bonnie, it should be you, and this is what, yeah, I was really bossy back then. I'm probably still bossy, but really bossy back then. And I said, Bonnie, you're the only person who has crisscrossed this state on behalf of the party. You're the only person who's gone from the north to the south. Bonnie, you deserve this moment. And she said, I'll think about it. I called Regina, like, Regina, she's not budging. But again, it's taken off like wildfire. So the next day, she called Regina and I, and we had a conference call. It didn't go well. She told us exactly how she felt. But we love her anyway, and we're so honored that she finally leaned into the position, into the idea of becoming Congresswoman. So I thank you, Congresswoman, for allowing us to, for once, to volunteer you. And I thank the Watson family for allowing us to share. I thank the Watson family for sharing Bonnie with us, and we appreciate you so much. Thank you.
It's like magic. I want him to travel with me wherever I go. Marilyn, thank you so much. I love the Run, Bonnie, Run story. So tonight is a night to think about legacies of leadership, the torch being passed from one generation to the next, from Senator Lipman to Congresswoman Watson Coleman, and from Congresswoman Watson Coleman to Congresswoman LaMonica MacGyver. Congresswoman MacGyver represents the next chapter in this story. Already during her tenure, she is displaying the courage to lead, often in the face of adversity. And we are grateful that her voice is there for all of New Jersey. Please join me in welcoming Bonnie Watson Coleman's friend and colleague, Congresswoman LaMonica MacGyver.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I want to thank the Center for American Women in Politics and Rutgers for hosting us tonight and uplifting the leadership of women in Congress. It's a privilege to join you all in honoring the woman whose shoulders I stand on. Congresswoman, trailblazer, and friend Bonnie Watson Coleman. No kings in this country, but that is my queen. Bonnie, I am so grateful for you for so many reasons, more time than I have here to share. It means a lot to be able to see yourself in the places you want to go. I served 6 years as the youngest woman to be elected to the Newark City Council. Throughout my time in public service, committing myself to a lifestyle of sacrifice and courage was possible because of the example set for me by the inspiring Black women I grew up around. Their support and the leadership of so many women before me let me become the first Black woman to represent New Jersey's 10th Congressional District. I'm honored and grateful for these accomplishments, but when people try to gas me up and ask, what's it like to be a trailblazer, I laugh and I say, you need to ask Bonnie Watson Coleman. She broke the barrier for all New Jersey girls of color, from being the first Black woman to lead the state's General Assembly, to becoming the first Black woman to chair New Jersey Democratic State Committee, and, as we know her now, the first Black woman to represent the Garden State in Congress. Congresswoman, you've shown so many of us that we don't just belong in Congress, but that we can thrive here. And that in Congress, we can be a part of making life better for the girls growing up today. She co-founded the Congressional Caucus on Black Women and Girls, giving us a platform to study disparities affecting Black women. She introduced the Crown Act to ban discrimination based on natural hair. You didn't just hold a seat to hold your seat. You made it a mission to deliver for the next generation. My queen took me under her wing when I got to Congress, and God knows I needed it. I got a front row seat to see her lead with boldness and grace. She celebrated wins with me and has been in my corner in every battle. Some of you likely know that the Trump administration is coming after me right now. ICE is terrorizing our communities, ripping families apart, and stripping our neighbors of their dignity and replacing it with fear. Alongside Rep. Menendez and our queen, Bonnie Watson Coleman, and we showed up to Delaney Halls to conduct oversight and expose the cruel treatment this administration has been trying to keep in the dark. The Congresswoman stood beside me that day as we demanded answers and accountability, and she's been standing with me ever since. In the face of intimidation, she has been a safe place and a source of strength. She is a rock, not just for me, but for us all. She's been speaking up for me at any chance she gets because she's never been afraid to stand on her principle. I know that I am not the only one she fights for. Far from it. Bonnie fights for us all. We should clap for that. And truly it shows. You wrote your legacy on New Jersey through legislation, but you ingrained your legacy on my life through the talks of encouragement, mentorship, and support when no one else was watching. Because, believe me when I say this, there's truly no LaMonica Rebecca McIver without Bonnie Watson Coleman. And consider that an honor. I truly, truly do not know what I am going to do without my queen, but I promise I was not going to get emotional up here. So I want to thank you, Congresswoman, truly, truly from the bottom of my heart. I tell you all the time that I thank God for you each and every day. I want to thank you for always supporting me, but for always supporting all of us and supporting New Jersey. And more importantly, I want to thank you for inspiring the next generation. Thank you.
that was fabulous. Okay, now for the main event. I am delighted to introduce another member of Bonnie Watson Coleman's political family, the Reverend Regina Thomas. Regina is a nationally respected political leader and the architect of the Black Base Vote program. She also served as New Jersey's Secretary of State from 2002 to 2006. She has a long-standing friendship with both Bonnie Watson Coleman and Donna Brazile, which makes her the perfect person to introduce tonight's conversation. So it is my pleasure and honor to invite Regina Thomas, Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman, and Donna Brazile to the stage.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Man, I was supposed to do some introductions and everybody has introduced them. I have one statement. I stand here recognizing how good God has been to me.
Amen.
I started politics off working for the only African American and the only female in the Kentucky State Senate. I now stand on stage with the first African American female in the New Jersey Congress and my friend, Donna Brazile. With this conversation, Merlin's done told too much about business, I'm just telling you. Janine LaRue, since you are the senior of the group, we need to talk to her. But in all seriousness, when I received the call, this could not have happened any other way other than it is unfolding before you. These two people, the Congresswoman, you already know her history, but she is a friend. She's a confidant. She is a mother. She's a sister. Very family-oriented. Her husband, Bill, is a partner of hers. And they have accepted all of us, that you, me, Merlin, and the like, into their homes. It is no better place to be than to hear her talk about her frustrations on the Hill, but most so the positive things that she does when she reaches out for the least and lost. And the challenges that she offers to each and every one of us to do likewise, to making sure that we're doing what needs to be done. And no one better to engage her in this conversation than Donna Brazile. Cooking with grease.
Wow.
My friend, Donna and I have known each other since the Jesse Jackson 84 campaign, when she would be going one way and I would be going another way, and everybody kept saying that we were twins. And I had never met Donna in the campaign for like the longest, because I did surrogates and she was always with Reverend and the key, and I did basically Marion Barry. And then when I met her, I said, we don't look alike. But after I got to know her, I understand that people said that it was her spirit that moved. But you know her. She is a professor. She is a commentator on major news outlets and a major author. And so to have the first African-American female who has managed a presidential campaign, to have a conversation with the first African-American Congresswoman from the state of New Jersey. Y'all, watch out, hold your seats. Let's look forward to the conversation. Love you both.
Thank you, boo. Thank you, boo. Woo! Well, what can I say? Yeah. Congresswoman, last week I was in New Orleans, and my family said, you got to go back? And I said, of course, I got to do my Sunday show, but I said, I got to get up to New Jersey. Now, when you leave New Orleans, Louisiana, and you tell your family you're going up to New Jersey, they were like, what's wrong with you? And when I gave them the entire litany of your life and your career, my sisters and brothers put some pralines in my bag and said, you better hurry up and get up there. So I just want to let you know, I didn't eat all my pralines, but I'm going to give the rest to you.
Oh, good.
It is such a great honor to be back here in the Garden State. It's such a great honor to be back with the Center for American Women in Politics, to see all of you and to know that you're here because of Bonnie Watson Coleman, her leadership, her determination, her fierceness. She is so grounded. There are not many members of Congress, when they show up, you just want to just stop and look at C-SPAN and say, huh? But when she came to Capitol Hill and I found out that she got on both the Appropriation and Budget Committee, I said, she must be some big damn deal. You don't get on those two powerful committees. She not only gets to set the stage, but she also gets to dole out the money. Okay, I'm just giving y'all the 411 on Bonnie Watson Coleman. So if you didn't know her background and you didn't hear from the Congresswoman, Ms. McGovern, she's another bad one. But you know, in Louisiana, it's good that you're bad. But I'm gonna only say that about Louisiana because we're gonna start off to, you know, in the last 24 hours, a lot of things have happened. A lot of things transpire. I guess at 9 o'clock on a Sunday night, most people are in bed or trying to figure out what they're gonna put on the next day for work or get ready for their kids. But the President of the United States, Congresswoman, last night started posting. Now, he first started coming after the Pope, and then he closed everything. That's 9 p.m. Eastern time, our time. But he closed it with depicting himself as a Jesus. Now, I want to get your thoughts on this because if you're a doctor, he said later today that he's just being a doctor. He's a healer. But I just want to get your thoughts to open this conversation because there's so much that I need you to explain to us. And maybe if a doctor came dressed up looking like Trump with a light in his hand, would you call for a second opinion?
I'm trying to reach out to the National Medical Association right now to get some accountability on the doctors who have been treating him and lying to us about his being dead.
Yes.
Because we don't have to be doctors to see cognitively impaired, evil, confused, chaotic, and just a big mess.
Big mess.
Big mess. And so when I saw that, I'm gonna tell you, when I saw that post, I was gonna say the P word, you know. Mm-hmm. I was really upset.
Praying.
Praying. I prayed. Yeah. Listen, I prayed for Donald Trump. I pray for him every night. I ask the Lord, could you just turn this man away from his evil ways?
I love that one.
But I thought that this post was like the straw that breaks the camel's back. Somebody needs to go into the White House and get him. And they need to take him out, physically take him out, not otherwise. Let me be clear.
Escort him out, yes.
Escort him out and take him to the padded room that he belongs in. Because he is making our situation very tenuous. He is making our lives very dangerous. He is disgustingly embarrassing on the national stage. He is ignoring our allies as if we could do anything without them. And so I've been messing with my buddies, Troy Carter and Benny Thompson, because we have this little thread that we share stuff. Mm-hmm. And I told them, I said, you know, the Constitution is inadequate. It is insufficient right now. And they're like, the Constitution is perfect. It's the people. I said, the Constitution didn't figure on this mess. And so we need to think about what are the words that we need to add to the Constitution that takes care of the kind of chaos and crisis we're in right now.
Yes.
But I want to tell you one thing, and then we're going to talk,
No,
right?
this is your night, love.
Here's my one thing. Minneapolis showed us that this is the government of, by, and for the people. And if people stand up to the craziness and the harassment and the evilness that's going on, as they did in Minneapolis, the government had to do something different. So we need to continue to stand up, speak up, and show up, because we, the people for whom this government was formed, need to make sure that government changes based upon our needs. That's the president's responsibility, and he has ignored us.
Well, you might have also heard that there's other breaking news tonight. 2 of your colleagues have decided to either resign or retire. Do you have any comments on Mr. Saltwell and Mr. Gonzalez, or Democrat and Republican? By the time you get back to Washington, they may not be there for you to.
They're not going to be there because they have decided that rather than endure the humiliation, that they were going to resign instead. So I think that Eric, that I thought I knew, but anyway, think he decided that it was better for his district to resign. I think Republicans thought they got to get rid of Gonzalez to make it even. But we have some other challenges that are going to face us with other members, and it's very sad to have to be distracted by these things at a time when there's so many issues that need to be addressed just to keep us healthy, alive, prosperous, thriving, and enjoying life.
One more question because I really want to talk about your legacy. You have such a rich history, a deep devotion and commitment to public service, and I know that it runs in your blood. It's in your DNA from your father and others. But I got to just bring Capitol Hill back into focus. You mentioned that someone needs to come and escort the president out the White House. Why is Congress not doing its job in terms of holding him accountable? And there's one issue, and it goes back to LaMonica McAva. And by the way, if I didn't tell you this, I'm not the easiest person to relinquish my money. But when I saw what she did in defending you, protecting you, standing next to you, I wrote her a check. And as soon as I pay my paper husband, Sam, on Wednesday, he ain't getting his money till Wednesday at midnight. The man don't deserve to get my money at 11:58. He's gonna get it at 11:59.5 p.m. Boom, I hit. She gonna get another check? Stand by her, stand with her, because Bonnie Watson Coleman told us about her life, her legacy, and what wonderful job she's doing for the people of New Jersey. So I just wanted to say that. But
And so let me just say that I was there. It is not something that I saw on TV. It's not something that somebody told me. I was there. And I was there as she put her body between the mayor and me and the folks who were dressed in fatigues and had armaments. And if we had enough sense, we probably would have been scared, but we were too mad at that time to be scared. So all she tried to do was just keep them off of us.
that's true. And that's what I saw. I wasn't there, but that's what I saw. And for the record, Congresswoman, speaking of members of Congress and the work that you do and others, 47 people have now died that we know of in the so-called ICE concentration camps. How do we process that as Americans, and what more can we do to protest what's happening with regards to these concentration camps?
So we got to continuously show up. When they are having protests outside of these facilities, we need to show up. Come November, we need to change the makeup of the Congress. And when we change the makeup of the Congress and the Senate, not done yet, because when we change the makeup of the House and the Senate, we have to hold those folks who are going to be taking over accountable also. Because sometimes we don't show up like we're supposed to show up. And so the only way that we're actually going to be able to change things is to change the ratio of them and us in the House and in the Senate. That's the truth. And then we got to hold us accountable.
Amen. I agree. Thank you. Congresswoman, your life's work offers something more than just a political biography. It offers a vision of what it means to lead with purpose, and I think everyone here agrees with that, to serve also with integrity and to make space for others to rise. I had an opportunity to talk to some of your colleagues down in New Orleans who were attending a DNC meeting, and the first thing they told me was about your service in creating the Congressional Caucus on Black women and girls. And they said, she put the emphasis on girls. And so I guess I want to begin with, when you look back on your journey, a distinguished career, by the way, what do you hope your legacy will mean to the next generation?
That you can be anything you want to be, that you just have to earn it by working hard and being smart, that you could be president of the United States of America and anything in between. You can be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. And we have women in those positions, and we have women of color in those positions. So if whatever your race or ethnicity is, women can be anywhere our intellect takes us. And we need to be able to celebrate when one of our sisters gets elevated, because there's room for all of us. So I hope my legacy is that. I have a 13-year-old granddaughter that I think the whole world knows because I've been bragging on her since she's been born. And I want her to understand that this is about her future. And what she sees Mom doing and people that are come around her, it's about that generation having the same rights and opportunities that we had growing up in a very difficult era, but nothing like this.
So I have to tell you that on Sundays, I'm often with my political TV husband. He happens to be, don't worry, there's nothing. Don't even go there. Don't let your minds go there. It's because the two of us, I guess, they have to match me. And I've been matched with every white male conservative in American politics. And I'm like, hey.
I feel sorry for him.
They act like I'm. So Kevin McCarthy was this Sunday. I said, you know what, Lord, please. But Chris Christie, I'm talking about your former governor. And let me tell you something. My TV husband, be respectful. I'm only with him for 1 hour, normally 6 minutes of that 1 hour, so it's all right. If it was 7 minutes, trust me, you can do that boo stuff. He ain't my boo. But I wanna, and he gave me some good stories. I've been asking everybody about you, girl. And one of the things he said, when you talk to Bonnie Watson Coleman, I want you to talk to her about her commitment to public service. And he talked about criminal justice reform and how you spearheaded that in New Jersey in the legislature, and you held him accountable. So I guess I want you to reflect on your time in state government, and what are some of the accomplishments you were most proud of?
In state government?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm shocked that Chris Christie would say anything nice about me. Yes, because he called me a murderess in writing, and I had to respond to him in writing. But I think that one of the most important things that I was able to work on had to do with second chance. And James G., who was my brilliant chief of staff then, decided we were going to take this all across New Jersey. And we met with families, formerly incarcerated individuals. We met with a former U.S. Attorney General who did a lot of work. We met with scholars. And out of those many hearings came a package of bills. And the bills had to deal with the fact that everybody, 60, 70, 80% of the people that go into prison come out. And so we want them to be taxpayers. We don't want them to have to live off of our taxes. So we had wonderful opportunities, what to do 6 months before you are going to be released, what kind of information you should be able to leave with, what should happen when you're there in terms of learning skills. James and I thought that we were just scratching the surface. The New York Times did an article on it and said it was like the cat's meow, or words that the New York Times would use. We thought that it was just going to scratch the surface. We got a number of those pieces passed. Governor Corzine literally signed some of it on his last day. So to me, that body of work stands out more than any other singular piece, although I think, you know, my housing piece, fair housing piece was real important. But that issue, those folks who we were trying to get some equity and opportunity for had the least voice among anybody. And so I felt really blessed to be able to work in that space.
The housing piece was another one, but so much of political legacy is measured in bills passed, of course, or positions held, but leadership is also about influence. How would you describe the kind of influence you've tried to have, both here in the legislature as well as on Capitol Hill?
So when I was the majority leader to Joe Roberts' speakership,
yes,
we had an agreement that no bill would come to the floor if I disagreed.
Ooh.
And so there were some areas that I did not agree with, and it did not make it to the floor. So having relationships and being in a position that gives you an opportunity to have these quiet conversations where people were very powerful, I think is really important. You don't always have to be on the outside person. You don't always have to be the face of it. But if you can have the ear of someone, and if that person has respect for you, for your integrity, then you can have tremendous influence. And I was particularly interested in certain aspects of our education funding and the role of the schools that were public but could pick their students. And the name escapes me at the moment. What to call them?
Charter schools?
Amen. At that time, they were siphoning off money from public schools, sending them into charter schools and giving charter schools the okay in October. If the student that you accepted and the money came with them, if that child didn't make it in your school, you could send that child back to public school, but you wouldn't send the money back. And so Joe and I had an agreement. We're not going to do that with charter schools because that negatively impacted our children in particular.
Were there moments in your leadership capacity, or even in just being a member, when you realized that you were not only serving in office, but also opening doors for others?
I started my career in the Division on Civil Rights, probably one of the best jobs I've ever had in my life, as a field representative. And I moved up really quickly in that space. And I always tried to make sure that we had people of color coming into that space. And so wherever I have been, and I've been in many positions in my life now, I've always looked around to see that there's diversity. And so when we're in an office or a division or assistant commissioner or whatever, and I didn't see the diversity, I made sure that we took care of business because that was vitally important to me. It is important for me to see that nothing should hold you back other than your willingness to do the work or your desire to do it. Otherwise, the plane should be level.
There you go. I like that. And there's some water next to you. So your career has also unfolded during major changes in American politics, including the rise of more women in public office. I want to talk to you about that next. I mean, you've seen a rise serving on Capitol Hill from the time you've arrived till now. I mean, I remember when I first served as an intern, there was not a bathroom for the women in the Capitol. You had to walk all the way back to the House office building or the Senate office building. So you've seen a lot. But how has the role of women in politics changed since you first entered public service?
Let me just tell this one story.
Go ahead.
Because you told the story about the bathroom. When Wynona Lipman got elected to the legislature, they didn't have a bathroom for her. They had to find they had to create a bathroom for Wynona Lipman when she went into. Wow. Yeah, that's something that I remember. So, first of all, there are a lot more women in Congress than we've ever had before. And I mean, and they're very diverse. There's from left can be, I was gonna say left of me, but I'm not sure that's possible. And then there are people who are very conservative, and then there's some who are very moderate. They're young, they're old, they're urban, they're suburban, they're southern and they're northern, you know, and they bring different perspectives to them. Well, in addition to just Black women, there are more women in Congress. I'm on a thread right now, a signal thread, with all the Democratic women. And so they've been talking about all this stuff that's been going on and what we're going to do and how we're going to change this and how we're going to change that. My experience with women, and the only exclusion I'm going to make here is that I'm disappointed in Republican women in the House of Representatives and in the U.S. Senate. But by and large, women got involved in politics because we saw that there needed to be change.
Right.
There needed to be change in education. There needed to be change in job opportunities, in fairness in pay. There needed to be more equity, and there needed to be compassion and understanding. And so, to me, women bring that. You know, they didn't come there on any level, from the school board all the way up to Congress, because they were so excited about having a stupid title, you know, or being recognized or whatever. They did it because they believed that they could bring something to it. And the power that they wanted was for change. It wasn't just for power. And I, by and large, see that now. Like I said, I am disappointed in the Republican women because I know some of them. And I know that there's something in here that is not satisfying to you, but you're not speaking up.
Unless you retire like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she's letting the glory out.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she says some things about Trump that I can't even repost.
Yeah.
She's using big 4-letter words.
But then she gets to be marginalized.
Thank you.
Because of, you know, the kind of explosiveness she brings to, I'm talking about everyday people, just, you know, some folks that have some really good reputations otherwise, that have been there for a while. And I saw you standing up before this second term for Donald Trump.
Right.
What happened? And I can't answer that question, but I've asked it.
I'm glad you did. And I'm glad. As more women run for office and lead institutions, what qualities do you think women leaders often bring that politics desperately needs, especially now?
Purpose. Like I said before, we run because we want to see change. I need them to feel comfortable in this space, comfortable enough to feel worthy, to ask people to support them, one of the toughest things I had was to ask for money for myself. I could ask for money for everybody else, but when I came to ask them for myself, it was very difficult because I wasn't socialized, and women had not been socialized. We're much better at it right now. So I don't want women to ever lose the reason that they're seeking an office, whatever that office is. And I want them to realize that it is as equally important for them to be on the school board right now as it is for them to be in Congress.
That's very important.
And I also need women to recognize that just because you don't get your bill passed does not mean that you're a failure.
And I have to ask this question because by the time you came to Congress, of course, the Republicans were in control. But a few years later, Democrats, in the second year of the woman in American politics in 2018, and once again, Nancy Pelosi became Speaker of the House. So, and working up close, and also, you've watched Hillary Clinton progress from the United States Senate to become the first female nominee of a major political party. And of course, most recently, you watched Kamala Harris become the nominee, the first Black woman of South Asian descent to also rise. Are there strengths women sometimes bring that the political system is too often undervalued?
I think they misinterpret our being decent and cordial with weakness. Maybe not so much from Nancy, though, because Nancy would cut you in one and then have to tell you, you've been cut, go to the hospital and get sewn up.
That's true.
Yeah. But the three women that you mentioned are just magnificent and exquisite in that space. Nancy Pelosi, she's a bad leader. And I'm telling you, there are consequences when you do not toe the line. But she respects you if your purpose in not doing something she wants you to do is something that you really believe in. That's number one, and I know that personally. Number two, Hillary Clinton was one of the most decent, brilliant women that I have ever encountered. And I encountered her a lot in campaigns, and I got to work with her. I even got to hang out with Jesse Jackson Jr. a whole day in a bus, just me and him and a few other people on behalf of Hillary Clinton. Yeah. And Kamala?
Yes.
I mean, come on, people. There was no contest here. One person was talking about policy. One person was talking about what you're going to do with support new babies coming. How are you going to take care of child care? What's education going to mean? What is housing? How housing is going to happen? And then you had somebody else talking, I don't know about what. But anyway, she is uniquely brilliant as well.
Yes.
People don't understand that if you want your country to be safe, if you want your state to be safe, if you want your communities to be safe, if you want compassion and enmity and all those kinds of things, at the same time you want brilliance and strategy, find you a woman.
Debbie, I think that needs to be, put in some quotes and put out the next time y'all want to encourage more women to run here. Now I want to talk about Black women because Black women are often misunderstood, marginalized, disrespected. But Black women have long been essential to movements, political movements. Well, just name the movement, you know the history. We've been essential for democracy, justice, and community power. What do you think is still misunderstood about Black women's political leadership?
Not a thing. I think it's racism. I don't think anybody can challenge the intellect of a Kamala or a Joyce Beatty or Marcia Fudge or Crockett or, thank you, sweetie, Or, you know, I don't think anybody can challenge them intellectually. But I do fear that racism tops almost every consideration in this country, and that's sad because this is the most diverse country in the face of the earth, and it's getting more diverse. It is not going to be white America that Donald Trump is trying to take us to. He can't even take us back to it because it never was. But so I don't think they misunderstand anything. I just don't think they have the respect that they need to have, and I think that it is racism. Well, you know what? That was my brother that hollered that out because, you know, I do often have conversations with him, and I tell him a lot, you know, people fear black women. You know, we're the wife, the mother. We had to be the bedmate when we didn't want to be. We have been vilified. We've been beaten. We've been crushed. We've been distrusted and disrespected, but still we rise.
Still we rise.
And that's scary.
And you spoke of so many great, wonderful, many of your colleagues, but I just want to add, because I came to Capitol Hill in 1981, 82, so I have to add two of my mentors, Shirley Chisholm, who I had the great honor of working with, and Barbara Jordan. And you, Wynona Lipman. We are so blessed. But I also, the reason why I put this question, it's not because of what we both look like. It is because we are so misunderstood in American politics. And this whole issue of likability, electability. And they use those words to say, well, I don't like her. And because, you know, a black woman decides she's going to run for office, that, well, she can't win because that district won't vote for her. And yet it keeps wonderful, talented young women from even thinking about themselves or considering a role in politics. So what would you say to a young woman right now, a young black girl, thinking about it? What would you say to her to just make sure that she doesn't doubt her future?
We need you. We need your perspective. We need your understanding. We need your love and your strength. We need you to recognize that Shirley Chisholm didn't do what she did, didn't say what she said, and didn't go out there and run for president so that we don't follow suit. And I'm gonna tell you a story about Shirley Chisholm. Cookie Worthy and I spent a whole day with her. Just her and the lady who was her caretaker at the time. Yes. And she told us that we needed to be in Washington. She said that was when she was putting together the National Congress of Black Women. She's quoted all the time down in Congress because she's our reminder that she did it when it was, she and Barbara Jordan, I mean, they were just like amazing in a very lonely space. And so now we have 30-some black women. We got 2 black women in the U.S. Senate, and we could have more.
We will have more.
Yeah, we will have more. We're going to definitely have one more.
Yeah.
So that's going to be history right there. Our young girls need to have access to those of us who've been elected to office. They need to feel us. They need to know that we're mothers, we're grandmothers, we're everyday people. We're just like their mother or their grandmother. And that, I want you to go ahead on. I tell everybody, go get a law degree. And the reason I tell young people to get a law degree is a terminal degree. And other than you can't be a doctor and you can't be an engineer, but you can be almost anything else with a law degree. You can be the president of a university. You can be the president of the United States of America. And you can be in so many other spaces because of that terminal degree. So I tell them, just keep at it. And I try to encourage them and let
Yes.
them know there is space for you.
Yeah, I agree. So, Giuliana Stratton, current Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Illinois, won her primary last month. And remember, Illinois is a state that has voted statewide, not only for women. Tammy Duckworth is the current United States Senator. Also, Carol Moseley Braun and Barack Obama. So there's history there in the great state of Illinois. Keisha Lance Bottom, the former mayor of Atlanta, is currently leading in the state of Georgia for governor. Stacey Abrams may have lost, but Stacey Abrams produced not only the electoral votes for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, but also for Mr. Ossoff and Mr. Warnock. So never doubt the power of black women. So I know this is a question I try to focus on a lot because I've known so many of your colleagues and many of your colleagues, including someone I'm very close to, my mentor and my good friend Eleanor Holmes Norton, is also retiring at the end of her term. For over 35 years, she has served us well. She didn't have a vote, but she had a voice, and she used her voice to stand up for us. And I want to thank you for all of the support that you've given to our
She made us stand up. She held us accountable.
Oh,
you know?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Eleanor's my girl. But how do you protect yourself, your purpose, when politics becomes so discouraging, especially now in this age of social media when people can put out a meme or send some bots and some trolls out there? How do you protect yourself when politics becomes so mean-spirited and ugly? And you used the word early on, and I'm going to repeat it, evil.
So I pray. I'm a very prayerful person. I believe in God. I believe that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I have a family that prays for me and prays with me. I have and encourages me. And I gotta watch them sometime because somebody will put something ugly on my Facebook page, and they want to jump at the person, you know. And then somebody else like tries to calm them down. I got a great niece out there, Morgan, who'll cut you just like Nancy Pelosi can cut somebody.
Well, I got to get to know her.
Yeah, you got to know her. She's amazing. But it is the grace of God on my life that has taken me through some really tough periods. I've had some tough periods in my personal life with my my sons. I've had times when people have called me anti-Semitic, and I say to them, I'm a black woman in America. How can you call me anti-anything other than anti-whiteness? You know, give me a break.
We have not had the luxury. We have not had the luxury, but we express our opinions.
Yes.
Of course we're going to express. But you know, and I know why, because I've had to, and I'm divert. I am pro-Israel.
I am too.
But I am not pro-Netanyahu
I
the
am
way
too.
he has conducted himself.
Right. And I feel sorry for Israelis that have to live under that corrupt leadership, like I feel sorry for Americans that live under the corrupt leadership of Donald Trump. I've been to Israel. I love Israel.
I've been to Israel.
Yeah.
I've been to the kibbutz that Hamas had attacked. And let me just say this, anti-Semitism, like racism, like sexism, like misogyny, like anti-trans, all forms of bigotry, we must denounce it. And as black women, as women of color, we have constantly done that for our country. So I had to say that. I diverted, I apologize.
No, that was
I feel strongly about that because I have 300 babies from all different backgrounds. And I feel for my Jewish babies as well as I feel for my Muslim babies. Absolutely. And I tell my trans kid, leave my trans kids alone. That's why when I say, how do you protect yourself? I mean, I'm just on TV now. I still stay in the streets, Regina. when you get off of TV, Jesus, I get death threats. I even had the FBI come to my house one day and I said, Lord, let me go and put on a bra and comb my hair. I mean, because, you know, you can get arrested for looking ugly and shit, you know. I'm like, oh. And I said, I put my bra on and comb my hair. And I said, what? He said, people they're sending a bomb to your house. I said, a bomb? Are you serious? I said, first of all, I give my mailman treats, snacks, water. Ain't no bomb coming to my house. And I know my garbage man ain't gonna let no, you know. But it is hard out here. And you have been out here for so long, standing up for so many people, the marginalized, the poor. And so when I asked the question, how do you protect yourself? Because I think for many who are even thinking about public service, they're like, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that. That's why, like, what gives you courage? What is your why? What sustains you in the middle of these battles? Because that story is part of your legacy and part of the charge that you're going to give to the next generation.
It's my God. It's my God. I believe in purpose. I believe that we have a purpose in life. And, you know, look, I lock my doors now. I didn't lock my doors. I had a simple 5-minute talk at the People's State of the Union.
Yeah.
And I got death threats because of it, which I thought was absurd because I thought I was really good. I thought I was. I thought I was nice too. But I ask God's protection. I do. There are times when I do have security with me. I have my husband, my honey bunny, with me 90% of the time. He has been my biggest blessing in my life. Yeah. And I have my brothers and my sisters-in-law. My family. One of my nieces said it. My goddaughter said it. The Watsons run deep. We run deep. So when you invite one of us to something, including, you know, you're gonna get about 21 of us.
I want some of that DNA. Well, where do you see the next breakthrough, the next big breakthrough happening?
November.
Okay. And why do you think we're going to
have it?
I'm asking the questions.
I wanted to answer that.
No, but it's coming this November, so we got about 204 days from now. But how do we prepare for that breakthrough? Because it won't automatically happen. When I was on the train, one of the reasons why I love the train is that you can think. And I'm thinking, and you know me, I got on my little phone, and by the way, Al Gore invented all of this when he got the internet going. And I started texting every governor, from the Westmores to the JBs to Josh, all the way out to California. If I got your number, I'm gonna use it. And I said, don't just depend on the electorate we have. Go out there and expand the electorate. That was Jesse Jackson's way. And my second thing, and I know people get disturbed when I send them, but I prefer to do that than tweet at you or put you on X or I don't even know how to do TikTok yet.
Me either.
You do? I don't want to be ticked or topped.
Me either.
And I also said, and invest early. No 2-week campaign. So I said, expand the electorate, invest early, and I said, and be relevant. Stay in the community. Now, what other recipe can we add that will help stir the masses? Because we need an overwhelming show of support.
Yeah.
If you saw what happened in Hungary, were you surprised by that?
I was just pleased. I was so pleased. Yeah.
I mean, we should send J.D. Vance wherever we want.
That's what I said. Go
send him.
I got 50 states for him.
Yeah, send him.
Yeah.
Y'all want to win? Send J.D. Oh, JD, can you come here? Come to Ohio. And, our good brother will win in Ohio. Go. Oh, I'm going to stop talking about JD.
I
But what concerns you about the road
I want to
ahead?
share this with you. There are two groups in particular that I think are vitally important to expanding the electorate.
Okay.
I wish that we could come together as faith groups, particularly minority faith groups. And I wish we could share on a regular basis what's happening, what's at stake, and how we can address it. And then have voter registration stuff even in the building. That to me, that's like a no-brainer. Come on, we can all do that. We can come together and do that. And the other group, we have sororities and fraternities. Collectively, they refer to, and these are the black sororities and fraternities, the D9. They have young people,
Yes.
that they're mentoring to. If we could get people on the same page to understand how important it is to A, get folks registered, but B, follow up with them. Because getting them registered is one thing, but following up and making sure that they're committed to voting is another thing. And so that's all of our jobs, but those are two sort of large groups that if we could get them engaged, and there are other groups that are not focused on minorities, but still, the Pope is very helpful right now, I might add. So we could get more people talking like him if he could also say, and therefore you all need to register to vote. Then his communication would be complete as far as I'm concerned.
Well, just to let you know, the Archdiocese of Newark, most of the Catholic universities across America in the Jesuit school, and a lot of lay people are on social media right now. There's a reason why I think Donald Trump took that depiction of Jesus down. I'm just hoping that he stopped, because as a practicing Catholic, he ain't gonna win this one, y'all. The Pope is from the south side of Chicago.
Yeah. True that.
True that, and with New Orleans roots to boot. And I don't have to tell y'all what happens in New Orleans when you cross someone. Just light a candle and I can tell you what to do afterwards. What?
And I hope Donald Trump continues to do what he wants and what he says and what he posts, because I think that the more ridiculous it is, the more people that you didn't even think would think see how awful that is from someone who promised to make life more affordable.
More affordable. And to get us out of forever wars.
Yeah.
Yes.
And get us health care.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, he's probably very successful.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Release the Epstein files, we'll find out.
Oh.
All of them.
And there, ladies and gentlemen, is a prime reason that we are at war in Iran. That and his relationship with Netanyahu.
And
Twins.
also, maybe he can get somebody else's oil like he got in Venezuela. It's all about taking something from somebody because he don't want to work for nothing.
Well, I'd like to know where it is because it's not in our gas tanks.
Well, in the time we have left, I have so many questions. I got to ask this question. What gives you hope when you think about the next generation of women leaders? The women that are going to be serving in the 120th Congress, the women that will take leadership posts at the county or municipal level or the state level. What gives you hope when you think, because you have led by example, and as I said earlier, with integrity, with a commitment to so many of our important values of decency and common sense, et cetera, and diversity. But I think this next generation need a dose of hope that you can give them. What is it? What can you share with us?
See, I'm not sure I'm the one that can give them the hope. I know LaMonica can. I know Anna Lilia can. I know Jasmine Crockett can, and AOC can, and Pramila can, and some of the younger women. I think that I can be, like I call LaMonica, she's my Congress daughter. She's not my friend, she's my Congress daughter. That my relationship with people like her and her age group, they're the ones, and Maxwell Frost, I just adore him. They are the valid voices that young people are inspired by. And so we need to get them everywhere. We need to support them and make sure that their voices are heard. We have a lot of opportunities on our campuses right now. Some of our campuses, there's so much divisiveness that some of our kids don't even want to go. We need to be able to connect to the younger people. We need them to understand the value of public service, what that means. And then for those who don't want to be in public service, we need to help them to understand the value of those who are in public service and the people that they are working for. And so I think that it's a series of just interactions and conversations and organizations. We just need to understand that love trumps hate. And that when we love one another and respect one another, there is hope for a change. And I keep going back to this, and this got nothing to do with black, white, or whatever. I'm so proud of Minneapolis for standing up to such un-American harassment, that if we had more of that in Jersey and other places, then I think that our future would be brighter and our opportunities will be more open. And there'll be women showing up wherever they want to show up. And there'll be diversity in every one of our offices, because this is the most diverse country on the face of the earth. We need to respect that diversity and recognize it is out of that mosaic that we were as great as we were, and have promised to be that great, even better, even more.
Absolutely. And I don't know who put in a word for Minneapolis to get the Nobel Prize, but I sent the letter. It reminded me, I was too young to march with Dr. King in that generation, but I understood the purpose of having the courage to go across the Pettus Bridge. I grew up in the segregated Deep South, but to see people in minus 19 degrees stand up, knowing that they were going out of their homes to protect their neighbors, their co-workers, their colleagues, their city, the principles of democracy. And they stood, and they stood, and they never stopped fighting. They deserve the Nobel Prize. I want to, first, I couldn't leave. I know Debbie's going to make me stick with time, but you want to talk about 2028? Anything you're looking for? You know, I'm always thinking about the next presidential campaign. I got 12 under my belt. I just want to know if you got a favorite, because I'm still young. I might, you know, get out there and work for somebody.
I'm going to tell you that Kamala is always going to be one of my favorite.
Okay.
That what happened to her in that 100 days was unfair. And given the opportunity, she could prevail if this country finds its moral center. I like Bashir.
Okay.
I like him. He
Of Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Andy Bashir.
Andy.
Yeah.
I like him. He's in a red state, you know. He stands up. People like him. He speaks truth to power. I like him a lot. But there are a whole bunch of them. I mean, I like Pete Buttigieg. I do like Pete, you know. And so those three come to mind as public servants.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, I want to first of all thank you for your extraordinary leadership, your time. But you know, as an old Hill staffer, I got to give you the last 1 minute.
I got 1 minute?
Don't you get 1 minute when you go on the floor?
Yes. We get gabbled.
Well, I'm not going to gavel you.
Well, first of all, it is an honor to have you here, to be in conversation with you.
Well, thank you,
I
ma'am.
respect you tremendously.
Stand here. When I told Eleanor what I was going to do, Eleanor, by the way, is 88 years old, and every Sunday or Saturday I go and visit her. I bring her flowers, and she likes fresh fruit, so I have to go find fresh fruit because she don't want no canned fruit. And you can't grow everything. And Eleanor and I had talked politics for about an hour or so, and I said, "Oh, Eleanor, guess what I'm doing tomorrow?" And she said, "What?" "I'm going up to New Jersey to be with Bonnie Watson Coleman." She went on and on and on, and she just wanted to send her love and appreciation. And she's the one who told me that you, along with two others, founded the Congressional Caucus on Black Women and Girls. And then she went on about appropriation and how you've helped the district. So I just had to, I had to be here. Yeah. I had to be here. There's no other place I wanted to be tonight but here in New Jersey to be with you.
Thank you.
But in closing, I mean, you get 1 minute, but this is your 1 minute of, you're talking to your constituents, you're talking to your friends, you're talking to your beloved New Jersey. I know your heart is full of gratitude for their support over the years, but I just thought this would be an opportunity for you to say a few words.
First of all, let me just tell you that Eleanor doesn't notice she was my hero when she was the EEOC chair, and I was working for the Division on Civil Rights. And so I always had to look up to her, like, see her.
I'll tell her.
I want to thank Debbie because I know that I saw something on Facebook said, we're going to honor her. And then I didn't see anything else. And then I have an incredible staff that started putting stuff together. So I am grateful. I am grateful for this opportunity to be in a place where I could come and talk with you tonight. It didn't have to be this way. So I feel particularly blessed. I ask God to let me be humble and let me be grateful. I hope that the humility came out. But y'all know how grateful I am. I am grateful to my family. I see two of my chiefs of staff, three of my chiefs of staff are here. Wow. My current one, Alex Wong, my just former one, Carrie Osmond and her wife, and James G., who is the architect of my campaign. And without the three of them, I wouldn't be here. So I just want to say that these are extraordinary times, and we cannot be depressed and stay home and stay in the bed and stay in their flannel pajamas like I do sometimes, because we have to stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves and speak up for those whose voices would otherwise not get heard. And the people in this room, every one of you, I know, has that kind of platform and has that kind of serious relationships with other people, not just in New Jersey. And then I tell my New Jerseyans, please call people in the red states that, you know, your families, your friends that are in these other states that need help and some guidance, because we need change. Now, we're going to have change in November, and Donald Trump is very helpful, and I am grateful to him for all the help he's giving us. But that is not enough. We have to make sure that when change comes, change is held accountable, and that we move forward and take care of 2028. We deserve better. Our veterans deserve better. Our disabled deserve better. Our elderly deserve better. Our children deserve better. Our women deserve better. Our gay brothers and sisters, our transgenders, everybody deserves better in this country than what we have. And together, we can bring that change.
And as a proud daughter of a veteran, I just want you to know our military deserves better. Thank you, Bonnie Watson Coleman, for your leadership, for your example, and for what you have done, not just for the state of New Jersey, but for the United States of America. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I really appreciate this. You have no idea.
I hope it went okay. I hope it did. Thank you all.
I
Debbie,
just,
Debbie, where's your stool?
I'm just, oh, my stool.
Please give her a stool.
You can see me, right? Listen, there's not a lot more to say after this conversation, but I just want to say, Bonnie, we are so grateful to you that you have made the decision in your life to devote your life to public service, because it is a hard road and we know it. You give up a lot, time with your family, time with your friends, but we are all so grateful for all that you've done for New Jersey, for this country, for the cause of bringing more women into office, for the cause of bringing more diversity into our public leaders. You've always been there for us when we've asked you to come and speak to students, to women who are aspiring to leadership. You're always there for them, and we are so grateful. And Donna, what a fabulous job, of course, in leading a conversation. And I just want to say that Donna Brazile has always made it a part of her work to make sure that there are new generations of women. She has been all about lifting as she climbs and making sure that there are more women following in all of the wonderful women that she has helped get elect. And I am so grateful for the friendship that you have given to us, to me, to the Center for American Women in Politics. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank all of you for being here tonight.
Thank you all. God bless you. Go out and vote.